Hello, Donna here. Welcome to my channel. You know, of late I've been doing many tutorials with many parts. They got very complicated. So the short tutorials kind of got left in the dust. So today I'm going to do a shorty. Now, what we're going to be making today is this piece. It turns a pin into a pendant. What happened was, one of my students purchased one of my pins like this. And the way you secure them to you is, of course, with tie tacks. And she wanted to wear it as a pendant. And she asked me if there was any way I could modify it so that she could do that. And I said, well, you know what? Let me think about it. I'm sure that there's a solution for this, and I'm sure I can do it. So I went away and I thought about it, and I came up with this. It's really very simple, and it works really well. The way it works is that you just take it and slide it onto the pin, and you have immediately turned your pin into a pendant. All right, so what you need is you need one of these screw eye pins, and you need clay. Now, the screw eye pin is actually screwed into this piece of clay. So it has to be thick enough to accommodate the finding, and it has to be also long enough so that you won't drill it in, excuse me, and come out of the bottom. And that, I just figured out, is this thickness, which is 2 times the number 1 thickness on my atlas. My atlas starts at 0. Now, this piece into which the holes are drilled, that can be quite thin, or it can be a little bit thicker if your clay is not strong enough to make a piece of this thinness that will be durable enough and not break. So this, let's take a look. Let's figure out what I've made this at. It looks to be maybe 4 or 5. So I'm going to roll. Okay, this is 3, and I believe that it is thicker. So we'll make this 4. And that appears to be about the right setting. Okay, now I'm working in gray because it's easier to see, but ordinarily I make them black. All right, I'm going to texture by putting the clay in a texture sheet and rolling this through the pasta machine. Now I'm going to step it back down. I'm at 4. I'm going to step it down to 3 because I've got these double thicknesses of this foam going through and the clay. All right, so I've textured both sides at once. Now I'm just going to press it to a ceramic tile. And let's take this piece, and I'm going to cut a nice straight edge. Like so. And place it on the sheet on the tile. Now, as I said, it just simply has to be thick enough so that the end of the screw isn't going to go through the bottom. Okay. Cut all the way through. Now, as to the length, the one that I've made to accommodate the pin is this long, but it's probably a good idea, depending on, I'm making many of them, so I'm going to make this really long. Because after it's cured, when I am, let's say, taking one and fitting it to an existing pin, then I'll be able to cut this off if it's too long after. All right, now as to the width, you know, to tell you the truth, I don't think a lot about the exact width. This appears to be, and somewhere on my work table there is a ruler. Well, this is a fine kettle of fish. You would understand if you could see my work table. So let me just see if I can get close to it. Ah, okay. So 7 millimeters. So why don't I just use the mark set and lay it on the 7 millimeter side, lay it on the clay, gently rock it to transfer the marks. Well, that was a little too light. I mean, I can see them, but I doubt you can. Yeah, you can see them that way. Okay, so let me see if I can see them to cut. That's the next challenge. Sorry, guys. I will get this just right. I will. Okay, so I transferred the marks onto that top piece. Not very well, but I did it. Which, of course, is the better way. Now, I wish I could just have cut and slid this out, but as you could see, the blade wanted to stick to the clay, or the clay wanted to stick to the blade, rather. So that wasn't the best way to go. So I'm cutting straight down, then I'm sliding the blade. So now this piece is stuck. Place it down and then rock the blade toward me, the top edge toward me, and that releases the clay and leaves kind of a nice straight edge. If it's not exactly perfectly straight, I can sand it after. All right, so let's cut this side. And as I said, you can certainly make this sheet thicker. Let's say your clay isn't quite as strong as Kato, and you're a little concerned about that. All right, so these are not perfect because I'm kind of looking at them at an angle. Anyway, so this is the basic piece. There it is. Now I'm going to cure this. We're going to insert the eyes after the pieces are cured, and then we'll fit one of these pieces to an existing pin. Back again, and they are cured. Here's one that I actually made just to practice. Here's one that I started to make and then had a problem with video. So now we're going to get it right this time. First thing we're going to do is remove it from the tile. And we have to take this screw eye pin and we have to screw it into the clay. So first you're going to take a needle tool and locate the center right there. Now I'm going to take pliers and take the screw eye pin. I'm going to push it right into that hole. Oops, sometimes it does that. Push it in and twist. Twist. Now once it catches, all you have to do is screw, oops, it didn't catch yet. It's not catching at all. What am I doing? Oh look, I have a screw without a point. Let's try again. I managed to find a defective screw. Okay, I think this one's gonna work out better, or else I'm gonna have to do this for the third time. Who knew something so easy could be so hard to do? Okay, good deal. Now it's really screwed in there. I can't pull it out. To get it out, I would have to actually physically unscrew it. So now it's ready for an oval jump ring. But first, let's take a look and position this. Find out exactly where we want the hole in our pendant piece. I'm going to position this rather low so that when it's strung, you're not even going to see the oval jump ring. That looks good, so I'm going to take my needle tool and pierce a hole, just like that. Now this I'm going to drill out, and this is where I ran into problems before because I was trying to drill and the drill was hitting my phone. And I'm sorry, it's going to be a little out of focus, but I'm just going to use my drill. And drill the hole. Now this drill is really nice, and I think I got it from AliExpress. Did I get it from, I can't remember exactly, but I have to find it again because I really like it. What it is, here, I just want you to watch the tip. And what I'm doing is taking this and pushing it down, just like that, and up. Now watch the tip. It's really a nice little drill. Okay, so I will try to locate where I got it and tell you guys, because it's a pretty wonderful thing. All right, so now we've got the hole. Let's put it over the tie tack, secure that, and now we have a pendant. Of course, again, you're going to need an O-ring, but you've taken your pin and turned it into a pendant. Very, very simple. Now, it's a little long. You could cut it if you wanted, but you know what? You might as well leave it long. You might need it for something else, and you might need the extra length. And it really is not interfering with anything, so I would just leave it long. Now, the only other thing that happens here that you have to make sure, you can't drill a hole in such a way that this will not actually go all the way to the base clay. In other words, if your hole is too close to the block, you will not be able to secure it. You'll put it on and it will stop about there. Okay, so just make sure that the hole is positioned in such a way that you can actually take the tie tack back and push it all the way down to the clay. All right. So that's it. Quite a simple way to convert a pin into a pendant. Now, of course, you're going to want to use tie tacks. Okay. This would not work quite so well over a traditional pin back. I think you could make accommodation, but it would mean that this piece would have to be quite a bit wider and the hole would have to be larger because it would have to fit over the whole mechanism, the pin back mechanism. But I'm sure you could figure that out. Same principle. All right, so that is today's little tiny toot. I hope you've enjoyed it, and happy claying. Until later, bye.